We're live.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Changing the Lost Smoky Mountain Wilds. I am William, or Shawnee, and I am your storyteller for this Changing the Lost 2nd Edition Chronicle. And joining me today, we have Julia.
Hi, my name is Julia. I'm playing Cassandra Scott, the Elemental Polychromatic.
And Katie.
Hi, I'm Katie. I play Joe Arbor, who is an Elemental Notary.
And Trevian.
Drevian, I'm playing Frisian, the Darkling Hunterheart.
And Jeremy.
Hi, I'm Jeremy, and I'm here to kick Hunter ass. I'm playing Marlena Dubois or Jackson Montgomery, Ferris Shadowling.
And I want you to know that I had to actively look over at the Zoom window and confirm which of the Ian names I was saying for a second there.
Amazing.
I wasn't there Thursday to make the joke about renaming my character to Tenebrisian.
But, as always, Black Lives Matter, trans rights are human rights, eat the rich.
Fuck Vince McMahon.
Fuck Charles Xavier.
Fuck Charles Xavier. He knows what he did.
He definitely knows what he did.
So did most X-Men fans.
Can I? This is on a different subject entirely, but can I just say it made me laugh so much? Because back at the eclipse, we had that they were Arkansas declared the state of emergency for the eclipse. Tennessee just said, "Hold my beer."
Oh no!
Because they're forming a committee or passing a law to investigate chemtrails.
I'm sorry.
Why do we elect conspiracy theorists?
Which do not exist, by the way, but there is now a
I don't know. Why do we elect a conspiracy theorist? Person who lives in Georgia?
I don't vote for them.
Jewish space lasers.
I am well aware.
That is not our district, by the way. Our district sits Democrats. That is North Georgia. That's North Georgia crazy.
I was going to say, everything around Atlanta sends Democrats every time.
I mean, okay, that is absolutely fair. I'm just saying, there's an irony in somebody from your state asking about conspiracy theorists being elected.
Listen, all we can say is that
we do not claim Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Give her
Dude, at this point, Republicans don't even claim Marjorie Taylor Greene.
No, but the Russians will take her, apparently.
Apparently the Russians will, yes.
Like, just send her to Siberia.
Okay, I think we have said enough for the bad people to stop watching our stream, so we can go ahead.
If any of you who are followers of the current insane Republican Party still watching our stream, fuck off.
You're watching a stream full of queer people.
Yep.
You're watching a stream full of queer people run by a majority queer organization. Go fuck yourself.
We have the whole alphabet and all of the rainbow.
Yeah. But when last we left off,
a different group of crazies.
Yeah, a different group of insane people were coming to Tennessee. Though possibly not unrelated. Who knows?
Dude, if Marjorie Taylor Greene is a hunter, please have her show up so I can kick her ass. So that she can get her ass kicked by a drag queen.
You know that Marjorie Taylor Greene is too stupid to be a hunter.
Listen, I saw our hunter game. I was in our hunter game. We had some fucking idiots in that game, and I say that with all the love in the world for our characters.
Yeah,
But
none of them were Marjorie Taylor Greene levels of stupid.
I'm trying to think of like what hunter organization would be like really right leaning, and the only one that particularly comes to mind is Malleus Maleficarum.
Project Valkyrie. I'm sorry,
Project-
the military
Project Valkyrie
one.
and the Union.
Okay, like it was just like the explicitly religious one, like the church,
I
or
mean,
at least the American ones, the American Catholics.
well, I'm gonna be honest. Like every hunter, every single hunter group would have some insane right wing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
that's-
there would be someone like that in every group. There
And,
are some
yeah,
groups that might lean
as-
more largely in that direction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Network Zero, the people who hack and spy on people. No, they can't have right wing conspiracy theorists in it. The literal cannibals. Yeah, there's definitely some there too.
Yeah, no,
Like all of them.
like all of them can. Some of them lean more heavily that way.
Oh, for sure.
Anyway,
Yeah. No, at best, Marjorie Taylor Greene is someone's ghoul.
Putin's school.
I mean,
so back to like
yeah. The group, in deciding how they were going to approach handling the incoming hunters and vampires from the Sabbat, decided that they were going to try and take a sort of two-pronged approach on this issue. One being that some of the group is going to attempt to try and deal with however many Sabbat agents are present in the city as possible, going by whatever means the group can figure out to try and identify, subdue, eliminate whatever they can do to get rid of these Sabbat actors. While the other part of the group is going to attempt to do whatever they can to divert or delay the incoming hunters that will be coming in from out of state for long enough for those Sabbat to be dealt with. At which point it is hoped that the Network Zero influence in Tennessee should be able to strong arm the incoming hunters away, having established that they have control over the situation again.
Sounds about like we summarize. Sounds like an adequate summary of last week.
With that in mind, I believe the group was going to rest because it was fucking late.
Yep.
Actually, we were in the middle of a phone call
Right. That's
Yeah.
right. I remember this phone
because
call.
Briar Rose was in the middle of someone and we called her.
oh, that's right.
The phrasing in the middle
You're
of
welcome.
someone.
Unfortunately, Austin is still not here to witness this because, again, sorry, yes, for reference, Austin is not feeling well and will not be joining us tonight.
Right, because it was also going to be the Morgan was the one was theorized to be the other person.
Yeah. Cassandra, the Briar picks up the phone, shushes the person that she's with, and says, "Hey, what's up?"
Well, I would hate to hold you up, but on the other hand, I feel like you might enjoy that. But Sai, we have some
You
things that we
hear a
need to
second
discuss.
phone ring in the background of her cell phone call.
All right. So we need to get together with all of the keepers of the commons because some information needs disseminated to all of the freehold. other supernaturals have been fucking some things up, and it's
Is that what your friend's calling about? She asks as the Morrigan, who is the other person that is indeed with her in the room, picks up the phone that Frisian is calling.
yeah.
And the Morrigan on the other side of the line just hi, can I help you?
Hi, I have a significant security risk for the freehold that needs discussed.
Morgan sort of pauses on the phone. I feel like it's being discussed at the moment with other individuals in the Keepers.
Looks at the other side of the room.
Sandra on the phone.
Yeah, that seems likely.
I think I'll wait for Briar Rose to fill me in.
All right. All right, then we'll speak more later then.
Definitely. Click.
And hangs up.
Meanwhile.
Yeah, so you're aware vampires and werewolves are a thing, right? I can just rip that band-aid off, or you...
Oh yes, we've known about
Okay.
that. We've had to deal with them a couple of times.
All right. Apparently there have been some vampires that have been completely exsanguinating some people. And
That's not normal.
no, it's not. So a source of mine has informed me that this is a bad group of vampires. I think that's the easiest way to put it. They're known as the Sabbat, and when they show up, they do not show up in small numbers. They show up in droves. And a local hunter organization has so delightfully informed me that others will be coming in to take control of this. So I have sort of, my motley and I have come up with a plan to attempt to eliminate this Sabbat threat before it encompasses the city, and maybe we can get all of the hunted people to go home.
Well, pardon the particular vernacular that is just coming to mind right now, but it sounds like the state of Tennessee is about to get spit roasted by two very dangerous enemies.
That is definitely a way to put it.
I definitely think that's worth discussing what to do about. Shall we meet tomorrow?
At your earliest, if you don't mind.
I think...
You'll probably want to sleep in.
Yeah.
How about noon?
That sounds good.
Okay, I will meet you at the Commons then, or do you want my motley to meet you elsewhere?
I think... the Commons will do for now.
All right. I will let my motley know. My source may want to talk to you because it will be helpful. However, that is beyond complicated. He's not a threat to anybody there. But I am worried that them being there will upset others.
Well, when it comes to matters of keeping everyone alive, I would rather people get over it and stop pussyfooting around it. So let's just have them come in, shall we?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, now, if you don't mind, I have some business to get back to.
By all means, have fun. Click.
The last thing you hear before she hangs up is, now then, where were we? Click.
She's gonna put her phone in her pocket, walk over to the nearest bottle of wine with a glass, and pour that. We have a meeting at noon with Brian and the rest of the keepers.
All right.
All right. That's an interesting shade of pink. You all right?
If there's one thing I do not like about my new form is that the inability to hide my emotions from you people.
Yeah.
Yeah, I may have interrupted a moment.
Oh, a moment.
As far as I can tell, she was destroying the Morgan.
Throwing the security arrest seems like the security person seems like a bad option.
Not if she asked for it.
I mean, we're not here to kink shame.
Also, that's what the Morgan meant by. I didn't know they would be together when I ended up calling the Morgan while you're calling.
Well,
Brian.
very few people actually answer their phones while that's happening, so that's a fair assumption.
Apparently, they're both the type to answer their phones.
I'm sorry, you don't answer your phone at that point?
Otherwise occupied.
It might be important.
I was about to say, if I were in the position of either the Morgan or Briar Rose as very important people in the Freehold, I feel like if I'm able to multitask and someone is calling me at a time that I am likely to be otherwise engaged, I would probably still answer the phone because it might be important.
Yeah. Also, I mean, I'm not saying that this is the case here, but there are times where that just provides you with a, let's just call it a no fault excuse for ending something that might be a little bit boring.
Or prolonging something that's absolutely amazing.
Or that.
Also, you asking if we would answer the phone, I don't have a basis to answer that question for. They don't have phones.
Well, then that kind of answers your question.
Can't answer what doesn't exist yet.
Exactly.
No distractions.
I mean, other than a fucking war going on overhead, but okay,
I was say, I feel like if the drill sergeant intrudes upon your session.
You just have to get creative with it.
You think getting caught by your parents is bad?
Never got caught, so I wouldn't know.
In any event, it's getting late. Should we get some sleep?
Please.
Sounds good.
Since we have a meeting at noon tomorrow, it might be worthwhile.
Let's hope so.
All right. Yeah. Okay. Good night, all. James says as he sort of starts to head up and sort of waits to see if Joe is going to come out.
Right behind you. With everything going on, I don't want to let you out of my sight right now.
Listen, if they can get inside, if they're in this house coming after us, then we have already. Don't worry about it at that point. We're all already dead.
I didn't say it. I was having
Bitch, was he going outside?
a tender moment, you asshole. Shut up.
So unless there's anything else that needs to happen.
Nope.
Nope.
Cassandra's staying up. She's going to be working more on her book, and in a notebook that she plans on not showing anybody, she is going to start writing escape plans.
Tyr's already asleep, I believe, at this point.
Mhm.
Yeah. Define escape plans.
List of what she needs in a bug out bag. List of numbers that she knows would be safe to call. List of addresses to go to.
Are these plans just for you as an individual or including others in them?
Bologna and the two kids.
Mm-hmm. So you get started on that and make more progress on your book.
Frisian
How
actually
long-
goes to sleep
Brittany actually sleeps.
and then gets up at noon again. They're not at noon, at dawn.
Yeah. How long until Cassandra passes out on her writing table?
It was like what, 2 at this point?
2 in the morning, yeah?
Probably around 4.
So Frisian, undoubtedly the first one up, waking up at dawn. You come downstairs and see Cassandra passed out on a writing table.
Goes and finds a spare blanket and drapes it over Cassandra.
Roll me wits and composure real quick.
Let's see. Nothing's like wits, composure. No bonuses or any or
No.
penalties.
No bonuses or penalties. This is just a. The unfortunate thing about not intending to show something to anyone is that if you're passed out and it's on the table. So Frisian, just like it's not. Maybe you don't pay attention to it at all, but amongst whatever writing that she's got doing for her book, also in one side journal that does not look like anything that she normally writes in, there are notes of escape plans, addresses, bug out bag materials, etc.
I glance at them enough to know kind of what they are without any details.
Mhm.
And then I close them.
Yeah. So with that book shut so that no one else walking by might just accidentally look into it, you drape a blanket over Cassandra.
And with it being dawn and safe from vampires, goes for a jog. Also would be checking periodically to see if he gets a text from Andrew.
What was the contents of your last message to him?
A brief warning about the vampires and hunters coming in.
Yeah, so you get shortly after dawn a text that just says, "Thanks for the heads up. I'll keep an eye out."
Thumbs up emoji. Takes like 5 minutes, but eventually thumbs up emoji.
Scroll through the emoji list trying to find the right one.
Scroll.
Hit one, but you hit the wrong one, so then you have to delete it. But now that it's gone all the way back, so you have to scroll through again.
Yep.
hit one, then you realize, oh wait, that might be the wrong smiley.
That's the middle finger. That's the wrong finger.
Accidentally makes it a different skin tone. Questions for a minute how the hell that happened. Tries again.
Spend about 30 seconds complaining about the fact that the emojis are so small and hard to read, and why don't they make phones bigger? I'm just imagining my parents using emojis and how that would work, and transposing that onto Frisian.
The only difference is Frisian's capability to learn it. It's like he's young enough; he'll pick it up quickly.
Or it's just like
but for now, it's still like a grandparent trying to.
Or it's like my grandmother who just uses like 15 different emojis, like just because.
Well, that's one of the differences. The other difference is probably less unintentional casual racism.
Yeah. I'm thinking the time period, it was World War II. Frisian might have picked up some anti-Asian sentiment.
Which is hilarious because Andrew is very Asian.
Yeah. Frisian doesn't understand American racism. He's not from America.
Yep.
You make your way out for your jog. Who's the next one up?
I would probably be up moderately early because shit's going on.
Yeah, probably worth waking up shortly after dinner.
And so stress levels mean not sleeping necessarily. Go ahead.
I think that Joe is probably up earlier than usual as well. Probably about the same time Marlena is.
Cool.
Jackson and Joe both coming down around the same time.
Yep.
Spot Cassandra unconscious on a writing desk with a blanket draped over her.
Oh shit, that's right. Y'all are staying here. Hi. Go get coffee.
The next one down is Bologna, who has not put on any of her makeup, mostly because her makeup is at home and not here.
Yes, there's certainly not going to be any makeup in this house.
It's your makeup. It's not her makeup.
I mean, fair.
Jack, all I can
imagine
is that eventually Jackson just has like kits made up for people. Just like, all right, here's tier Bolognas. Here's like 4 drag daughters. Here's a couple of spares in case.
Yep.
So like, instead of like the toothbrush, toothpaste, deodorant, razor, it's the
just makeup.
Just makeup.
Can't hear you, Julia.
Hey.
Like just a small kit of like concealer, moisturizer, foundation, primer, and like the basic contour kit, and some eyeliner.
So,
yes.
False eyelashes.
They come down, look around, spot Cassandra passed out, nod, walk over to the kitchen where Marlena is making coffee.
Yep.
Starts to grab materials to make pancakes.
Joe is waiting on Marlena to make coffee.
Comes out with it. Now I can think.
While pancakes are running, the Tier also makes a couple more cups of coffee.
I mean, it was a full pot. There's
Yeah.
enough.
Yeah.
Joe is just staring in the cup, like waiting for the coffee to kick in.
You got brain activity yet?
Just hold up a finger, like
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Hurry up, bitch.
holds up another finger.
Cassandra, you are awoken as a cup of coffee made exactly how you like it, a couple of pancakes, some eggs, and bacon are set down in front of you.
I would hate you for waking me up if you weren't absolutely amazing.
Rough night.
Just a bit of writing and a little bit of extra research. Nothing too big. You sleep okay?
Not as good as I had the past few nights.
So I didn't come to bed.
It's all right.
I got into it.
I understand.
Got into it.
The book I'm writing.
Ah. Fair enough.
If the rest of you are hungry, there's more eggs and bacon and pancakes over there.
I know we're not all quite presentable for the day, and by that I mean no one is, but what's our agenda?
Oh, I'm gonna get some of this food before my husband comes down and claims the rest of it.
All right, what is our agenda beyond that?
Fuck shit up and take names.
So we have an appointment at noon with Briar Rose and the Keepers. After that, I don't know. I feel like at some point this morning we need to start really we have to start hunting tonight, which means we gotta get some training done during the day. And maybe we can reach out to Fixer and any other number of contacts he has to see if we can find any of the usual hunting spots in the area.
There we go. That's what I was thinking more of. Before we start, but trains are well and good. If we can't find them, it don't matter.
Get the intel and then act upon intel.
You who are intending to look into the vampire side of things as well may want to see if we can get any cooperation out of the
That's what we need. That's what I need to do. I can hit that up because I should be able to make sure that that meeting will go well.
Yes.
I'm assuming, by the way,
if they're gonna meet you anywhere, they're gonna meet you somewhere where they hold all the cards.
I think that's cute to think that. All right, but I'm assuming, by the way, we slept, so we got a willpower point back. All right.
You gonna need any backup in that meeting, Marlena?
I ain't gonna say no to it. Let me put it this way. Do you really want me to be the only person speaking on our behalf to the creatures of the night?
No, but I know I can do it.
I'll go.
Sure you can. Why can't you?
Because you and I do not have the same style of charisma. You're good with talking to people, I'm not.
Fair enough, I suppose. Honestly, I can make sure they're going to behave. But I still would like as many people as maybe if you can, when we meet with the Freehold, if we can get a couple tough looking folks come along, that'd be nice.
The big thing is how are we supposed to set up this meeting in the first place? I mean, we
have a friend?
We have a vampire contact, but how much hold does she have? How many people can she actually contact?
Well, we don't know until we ask.
Right. I'll fire off a text about it.
Do we know? I mean, I don't even know what. We just have the phone number, right? You know,
Yeah, we have her
contact information.
We have her card with her contact information.
Where's the office?
If you check the address on her card, her office is like middle of Nashville, like northwest side.
All right.
So she may or may not want to actually meet in her office, but we can at least start there. What's that?
I mean, I don't necessarily want to meet her. Yes, her too, but we need to meet bosses. I don't know how that works.
Well, again, that's why we contact her and then see where we go from there. But she contacting her is the first step.
Right.
And then she can put us. If she is not the person that we need to talk to, then at least she probably knows someone to talk to. Because I imagine if they're anything like us, that they want this dealt with in quick. Because this isn't doing them any favors.
What time of year is this again? This is late fall, correct?
It's late fall. Winter is coming.
November.
Did we get up early enough that it's not necessarily completely dark or light yet?
Yeah, like the sun is just barely cresting there.
I pick out my phone and I give her a call.
Yeah, phone rings twice.
You're calling me right before I go to sleep.
Yeah, this is important. Hi, this is Jackson. I don't know if you remember me.
I do.
Right. Well, I understand that you are going to be down and out for the next several hours. But when you get up, could you do me a wonderful favor and arrange a meeting with your people? Because is she in on the fact? Does she already know about the hunter situation?
She knows the whole Sabat and hunter thing going on. Yeah.
All right. Because we want to help you kill those Sabat. And if you
do our job with us, all right.
Absolutely. And if because if we don't do it, this is going to be really bad for all of us. So if we could get a meeting like early evening with your people, that would be wonderful.
I'll text Civ and see if she's open for it.
Does that see if she's up for it? Does not sound like a very positive,
Look,
Alan.
when it comes to talking with the prince of a city, you gotta see what they're willing to deal with.
Could you give me her number?
No.
You tell me where to find her.
No. I'm
Tell
gonna
me
be
someone
honest.
who has,
I'm gonna be
who I
honest,
could
you-
get that information from.
No, and I'm gonna be honest, you want me to be the one to deal with this because if you try and go up to Civ directly, it's gonna end with your limbs ripped off and your blood painting the walls.
Strongly impress the need. Make shit up if you need to.
I think it won't be hard, but I can't make any promises.
All right.
Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm gonna go sleep before the wretched light of the day star turns me to a pile of ash.
Yeah, that would not be a good look for you. Good night.
Good night.
Hang up, bitch.
I just
Well,
realized I'm shortchanging myself, especially since I said I wanted to be the one leading the charge against the Sabbat, fighting them on the front lines. I should probably be there.
All right.
Okay.
Well, if the bitch don't follow through, we're gonna have to find some other way to get this meeting.
listen,
We'll see how that goes.
listen.
I'm listening.
Well, it's Katie is Stalin. Joe's not.
Sorry. A little too in character, I understand.
Oh, sorry. Oh, there's too many voices in my head. None of them are the right ones. All your blood and your limbs torn, all your blood gone and your limbs torn off is not a good look for you. So I understand being assertive. I understand getting shit done. I do. At least I'm learning how to do that. However, there's also something to be said for a little patience in following protocol, so to speak.
Oh, I understand that, and I will be as patient as I am able to be.
Oh,
That
shall I
said-
count to 5 and see how far that goes?
That said, I'm sure the vampire is very scary. But I also think that they probably think that we are some cutesy Ferris bullshit. And I'm sorry. Well, some of us are that, some of us are very much not. And I think it's cute they think that I'd be so doomed.
I think there's a whole lot of assumptions being made here.
I'm making no assumptions. I'm going off what's being told to me.
Frizzing's not there, so I can't really actually.
Who's telling you that? Who's telling you that they think that?
I can read.
I genuinely want to know.
Bitch, I can read between the lines.
Oh, so
And I
that's
can understand when somebody says you want to keep all your blood in your body, that they think that their boss is superior to me. Inherently. And I'm not saying that they're not. I'm just saying that is quite the assumption, considering that that this undead fucking real estate agent bitch don't know me.
All I'm gonna say is whether you like it or not, I think I'm gonna have to be at this meeting.
At what point did I imply I didn't want you at this meeting?
I generally preface things with whether you like it or not, because that just seems to be the state of our relationship.
No, I want as many of us as is comfortable being there.
Fair enough.
All I can think of now is like Marlena's like, bitch thinks she can rip me apart. I'll bring some fucking werewolves to the meeting if I have to.
I mean, don't reveal all my plans. 100%, but also other things.
There's the dragon, there's the hunter, there's the werewolves.
Walk into a bar.
You see, the werewolves, the vampires, and the changelings are all in one place, and that's when Ashwood Abbey throws a party.
It'd be the dumbest Ashwood Abbey party ever.
That's Ashwood Abbey begging to die.
No, it'll be fine. And yes, I absolutely do want you there. I don't know where that accent went, but
that's okay. Mine's been coming and going.
of course I want you there. You are one of the 4 changelings in the sea least likely to murder me.
Joe starts counting.
Maybe 3. Might make the top 3.
You know what? No, I'm not going anywhere near this conversation. I'm really not.
It's all right. You can say you're honored. I understand. You should be.
All I can imagine is after that comment, that's when Frank walks in. It's like, and there's the one that's the most likely to kill me.
No, other way.
I mean, that was implied. Yes.
In any event, we have a meeting at noon. What are we doing between now and then?
That is a very good question.
I cannot remember for the life of me. Maybe this is just continuity, assumed continuity, but like we have like clothes and shit here, right? Because I'm assuming since James and Joe are like between houses, they're like.
Yeah, there's presumably clothing that either you own or it can be borrowed here.
Oh,
yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
You always got that dress from Cavaldi's.
Between now and then. Well, first things first, I don't know what the fuck my husband is and why he ain't up yet.
Mostly because I've just been trying to get as much sleep as I can get, says James as he sort of stumbles down the stairs.
Morning, sunshine.
On it.
There might still be some breakfast left over for you.
Well, there won't be any left after I'm done with it, so it's probably good I came down last.
Have at it.
Cassandra's gonna walk her plate back into the kitchen and then scoop her eggs and bacon off of her plate onto whatever plate James is making.
Right, sorry, I forgot.
Sweetie, it's all right. It's new. It's fine.
It's something I should be paying attention to.
There's a lot of shit going on. Don't beat yourself up.
Exactly. There's way more important things going on right now than the fact that I don't eat meat. Now, after that's out of your head, how about you teach me how to kill a vampire? There's
Do we really want to do that before the meeting, or
I'm gonna need to sleep after the meeting if I'm gonna be going out all night hunting vampires.
that's fair? That's fair.
So
Alright, well, let's step outside and start going over stuff. So, Tyr heads outside.
Mm-hmm.
Does anyone other than Cassandra follow after?
Brizian would, but he's not there yet.
I will observe. I'm supervising.
Like Joe, like sit on the porch with her coffee and just like Marlena's doing observing, but also just taking mental notes. She's not quite ready to get her hands on it yet.
So, Tyr steps outside and sort of grabs some materials and basically makes up a mock dummy. And then goes rummaging around in a back shed. And comes back out with something that Marlena, you were not aware was even in this place, but he comes back with what looks like a clay pigeon launcher.
I mean, that makes sense. I would. There is nothing shocking about that. That very much sounds like Southern rich person bullshit.
And so he sets up the pigeon launcher and sets up the dummy. And he sort of hands you a knife. First things first, the basics. There is no amount of fancy tricks I can teach you that will serve you better than just knowing what to do in the moment. Fundamental bits, if you don't have fire and don't have... Honestly, I'm not sure what else a vampire is really innately afraid of other than fire as far as materials go, but
don't have a sniper rifle with a high caliber, let's say. Your important bits are to aim for the head and the heart. If you can impale the heart with something sturdy, I'm not wrong on that, am I, Jeremy? It doesn't really matter if it's a wooden stake. It's just something impale the heart directly.
No, it has to be wooden.
It does have to be wood.
It absolutely has to be wooden. Yes.
If you can impale the heart with something made of wood, it'll paralyze the vampire, which basically means you win. But that's going to be difficult because the vampire knows that too. Yes, Marlena.
What if you shoot him in the head with a shotgun?
That will usually work.
All right.
However, he says, as he sort of like stabs a knife into the head of the dummy. The head's the place that they're most vulnerable, aside from staking them through the heart. If you shoot them anywhere else, it is unlikely to do much to slow them down. However, he says, as he sort of picks up a gun off the ground, trying to shoot a vampire straight on at where they're standing is just going to get you a whole bunch of whiffed air and wasted bullets, he says. There's the point where the vampire is, and there's the point where the vampire is gonna be. And you typically need to shoot somewhere in the middle of it, he says. He hits the button on the pigeon launcher, and a clay pigeon goes flying, and he sort of aims a bit and shoots at a point that's slightly ahead of it, and detonates the clay pigeon. Vampires don't move like human targets. They move too fast. You're going to be trying to lead them like you would something like, I don't know, a cheetah coming at you.
Question number the second.
Go ahead.
What if you turn back time and then just shoot where they were?
If you can pull that off and still shoot them before they move, good on you.
All right.
I don't know what your magic tricks all do for you, but
I can turn back time.
All right,
Yes.
Shea, we get it.
She can find a way.
All I can imagine is Marlena like gets grabbed by a vampire, turns back time, and then just has the shotgun pointed up right in front of their face.
It could only be more perfect if it was actually on an aircraft carrier. I'm glad people got that reference.
all right, so your practice for now is going to be just practicing headshots. Just for now, pump the thing's head full of lead, try not to miss or hit anything else but the head. After you've got some practice in with that, we'll start shooting clay pigeons. You're aiming for at least 75% accuracy on headshots.
At this point, Jackson gets up, turns around, and just starts casually walking inside.
Go ahead and give me a firearms check, dexterity and firearms.
Do you want it done as an attack roll? Or
No, just do dexterity and firearms, just a skill
Okay.
check.
Nothing.
So you're having a hard time. As someone who's been on a range, shooting a target at a distance and aiming specifically for the head is not always easy. But you're getting somewhere around a quarter of your shots aiming specifically for the head. Some are hitting the body, some are hitting various other points, but you're having a difficult time getting the aim down. At which point, Tyr walks up behind you, steadies your stance, takes the gun out of your hand, and puts a shotgun in your hands.
All right.
Make that roll again with +2 dice and 8 agains.
Three successes.
You realize as you pull the trigger once on that shotgun, there might be a lot of holes in its torso, but there's also plenty of holes in its head. There are tricks that make it easier. For instance, when you don't really have to aim because you're hitting everything.
Fair enough. She'll walk over to Bologna and just unclip and take the knife off of her belt.
At some point, Jackson has come out and is on his phone.
I'm assuming the next step is learning how to fight close.
Now, the next step is trying not to get close. Because if the vampire gets close to you, you're in danger. You're in more danger than most other things, except maybe a werewolf getting close to you. That's why we're doing the clay pigeons next, because you want to be able to try and shoot a thing that is coming at you.
That's gonna be fun.
So, stand over there and he points to a spot and get ready. And he sets up the pigeon launcher basically to where it will fire discs in areas around you, heading in your general direction.
Okay.
So now, go ahead and make me a dexterity and firearms at a -2 to accommodate for defense. You hit a couple of them. You hit a couple of them as they go by, but on the whole, you find that you tend to miss more than you hit.
You are definitely the one out of the two of us that is better with a gun.
Fair. Now, as far as when they do end up getting close, he reaches onto his belt and pulls out a wooden stake and hands it to you. If you can... Hang on. He walks over to his truck and pulls out some materials and makes a makeshift, more thick and durable dummy. And sort of hands you the stake. If you can get that about 3/4 of the way into that dummy's chest, then you will probably, in the right situation, be able to put enough force into a stake to reach a vampire's heart. Go ahead and give me a shot.
Strength and weaponry, I'm assuming?
Strength and weaponry.
3 successes.
That's what you need. 3 successes is what you need. So yeah, you drive that stake home to about 3/4 of depth. Good. That's about how far you need to push.
That's a lot of resistance.
It's gonna be. and it's going to be even more when it's using its claws and teeth to try and open you up when you're doing that.
That is something I will worry about in the moment.
I do want to. He pauses for a second. I had no intention of dissuading you from this, but I do want you to know that this is not something that you have to do.
And I don't know if I can emotionally interpret that enough for what you are trying to get across to me. I have to do this to help the people in my city and to keep my families alive.
I don't know if there are words that will get across what I'm trying to get across. But my best effort would be that you're about to step into something that is not going to be good for you or anyone around you. I would rather not see you go through this. Not least of which because I'm terrified of whether or not you'll come out of it on the other side. Not because I don't trust you or have faith in you, but because every time I or anyone else goes into this, there's no guarantee we come out.
Is there any way that Joe's hearing any of this conversation, or is it too close?
I mean, whether he's not stopping anyone from being in the vicinity, and he's not hiding this conversation.
Joe's just gonna yell, "Hey sis."
Yeah.
I know you're willing to do just about anything for us, for your kids, for anybody you care about, and that's what I love about you. And I know I know you would not hesitate to lay down your life for the greater good, but I am here telling you we need you alive more than we need your sacrifice. And like your spouse said, I'm not trying to dissuade you from anything. Lord knows. I mean, look at what we've all had to do. But I'm also saying, please, I'm not asking you to step back. I'm just asking, yes, I know you would sacrifice for any of us, but what I'm asking you is to live for any of us.
You're both right.
And like I said, I would never ever try to stop you. I myself am gonna help to learn how to defend myself too, but at the same time, like we spoke about the other, I don't even remember what night it was. We spoke about the other day how I feel like I'm fighting for lives that don't even exist yet.
Okay.
I'm not trying to lay it on thick. I'm just saying I understand to have something worth fighting for, but I also understand having to have something worth living for.
It's hard to see both sides of that coin sometimes.
Dying is easy, young man. Living is harder.
That's not where I was going with that. Okay. But you're gonna do what you're gonna do. And I know you'll do what's right. I know you'll do what you're capable of doing. I just would be remiss if I didn't say something.
Okay. Yeah. Both have given me a lot to think about. My next move is to go inside and take a shower before we have to leave for this. That's what I'm going to do.
That's probably valid.
That sounds like a great idea.
Is Frisian still out at this point?
Unless he's gone
Where
back.
the hell is Frisian, by the way?
He went out for a jog. So
Frisian's gonna get a text.
Like a million years ago.
Long enough for you guys.
It's only
to
been a
plan.
few hours, to be fair.
Yeah.
For a dog, that's a million years.
Frisian will get the first text will be still alive? Question mark.
You see typing for like 5 minutes until you eventually get a thumbs up emoji.
All right. You will get a response back of and this does take a while typing because still 90s. But it will be can you pick up water balloons from grocery store? And then question mark as a separate text.
A couple of minutes later, should be able to.
Thumbs up.
Yep.
Old people texting.
I just want to see Frisian writing a check at the grocery store for buying water balloons.
No, Frisian has. No, Frisian
Yeah,
just has cash.
He has a stack of cash.
Yeah.
You just put the whole thing down. How many water balloons did it get me?
Frisian wouldn't have brought the entire stack with him, but like $60.
Amazing.
Use everything we have.
I said $60, and that makes me sound old because I've been carrying around like $90 in just cash.
People still just carry cash.
They do.
I don't compute.
9 times out of 10, I pay with cash.
Fair enough. Weirdo.
Yes, it is.
If it works.
No, absolutely.
Yeah. So Frisian buys water balloons on the way back.
Like Frozen
Perfect.
spends 10 minutes like trying to find the nearest grocery store. Standing on a street corner on his phone.
Yeah.
There's one right in front of him.
No, it wouldn't be right in front of him. He's not that oblivious to his surroundings. It might be a block over, just hidden, though. But yeah, Frisian gets back with the water balloons. Probably like 2 hours before the meeting.
Cool.
Actually, that depends on what time it is. Frisian would like that would be like, okay, now I have a task. Go jog to grocery store and then heads back to the house.
Cool.
Okay. So you get back there probably 3-ish hours. No, about 2 hours. Yeah, about 2 hours. Because I was thinking about people woke up in the morning, sun was just barely coming up. It's fall.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so you probably about 2 hours prior to needing to be there at the meeting.
Cool. And Johnny, I don't know if you saw my.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, cool.
Most of that will show up tomorrow, but some
Tomorrow is all we needed to go. Is all that we need.
Is your plan to fill water balloons with holy water?
No, I wish we could get our hands on the holy water.
I'm really very curious.
I mean, we have enough money. We could probably just go to any. We could probably get some holy water.
Holy
do you
water that
think
actually works?
Yeah, that's the problem.
If you want holy water that actually works, you need to find the Malleus Maleficarum.
That's fair.
Like we have to find the 1 in 1,000 person who has true faith.
Yeah.
We get here and we go around to every church in Knoxville. And we might find somebody.
So you while Cassandra is getting her shower, Bologna is just sort of going over details and like checking their phone constantly, communicating with Fixer and everyone else. Meanwhile, around the time that Frisian returns to the group, what is everyone up to?
Getting ready for the meeting, like
Mm-hmm.
taking a shower, putting on clothes, eating again, eating a snack.
Yeah.
Yeah, just prepping for that.
Joe's making a snack and sees Frisian carrying a big package of water balloons and wondering what the hell's going on.
Like Frisian gets back and just immediately starts looking for Jackson.
Yep. Oh, thank you, honey.
Mm-hmm.
These will be useful later.
Cool. I'm gonna go take a shower before the meeting.
Probably not
Go
gonna.
right ahead.
You're probably not gonna tell me, but what exactly are you using water balloons for?
You will find out.
I mean,
I don't like those woods. I don't like those woods at all.
Bologna sort of looks over.
I don't care. You hush up.
It's a good plan. It's actually one of the things that we've been known to try.
Okay, are you gonna tell me what those could be used for?
I'm gonna.
I
let,
said
I'm,
you
I'm
hush
gonna,
up.
I'm gonna let
and
Marlena
I
explain it in her own
said,
time.
and I said no.
And I said, bitch, too bad.
I'm gonna let Marlena explain that in their own time because I feel like it'll be funnier if I do.
Thank you. I'm glad that you understand the vibe we're searching for here. All good things come to those who wait. Also, I like you wondering because I know it kills you not to know.
All I'm saying is if we're both going to this meeting together and you're keeping secrets already, this is not going to be a very good meeting.
Oh, they aren't for the meeting. They certainly aren't for for the mid-afternoon meeting.
I was talking about the vampire meeting.
Yeah, they aren't for that meeting either.
Speaking of which,
Okay, that makes me feel better.
we should probably start making our way.
Uh-huh.
And so, with that, as you guys prepare to get going for the noon meeting with the freehold with the keepers, that's where we're gonna take our break.
Yep.
Remember, when we take our break, you take your break. So sit up, stretch your legs, do whatever you need to do, and we'll be back in just a few minutes.
We are back.
Welcome back, everybody. So we rejoin our changeling motley as they arrive at the commons. Are you bringing in Bellona as Briar suggested?
Sure am.
So
She is unabashedly on his arm like candy.
Deer steps in, looks around. I mean, it's a nice place.
We've, as a society, carved out a nice, neat little hole for ourselves.
Good look.
How about I introduce you to Loquacious, and then we go find the keepers.
If I were to guess, that would be them already in the middle. Says he indicates to the group of 4 individuals that are already sitting at a table, one of which is Loquacious.
That,
5
yeah, that would
individuals.
be.
I was about
Yep,
to-
that'd be them.
I was about to ask if where we were going to meet, if we're just going to meet in the middle, but I guess they already answered that question for us. And she's going to grab onto James a little bit tighter. It's like, okay, let's go towards it, shall we?
Loquacious, Billy Gruff, Briar Rose, Morrigan, and Chelsea Spinner are all sitting at the table.
Afternoon, everyone.
Approach. Yep.
Afternoon, everyone. Thank you for your presence.
It's a pleasure to meet all of you again, says Billy Gruff. And some of you, for the first time actually face to face, says the Morgan, looking at Frisian.
The summer court that has not showed up in summer court.
Well, I suppose now we should start talking specifics. Chelsea, if you wouldn't mind. And Chelsea just sort of nods, and the ropes around the ceiling that she normally hangs from just start to dangle down around the table as you all sit down, and sort of form this web pattern around the outside of the table. And the noise of the rest of the commons sort of dies down around.
That's a neat one.
That must come in handy.
It's useful for private conversations like this when we should discuss things before panicking people.
Right, we
Fair enough.
definitely don't want pandemonium at the moment.
That said, we do have some pandemonium to.
So I heard, says Briar Rose. Loquacious, shall we get everyone a drink? I don't mind if I do, he says as he sort of starts to spin drinks out of thin air towards everyone.
Now that might be my favorite trick.
So,
All right, everybody. Shall we get down to business?
yes, how much is everybody in the know at this point?
I've told all of the rest of the keepers what you all told me over the course of our phone call, so the basics, I'm assuming.
This is my spouse. They go by any pronouns, Tia or Bellona, and she'll just sort of gesture.
Yeah.
Pleasure to meet all of you. I am also, as I presumably have been introduced, Cassandra's informant on activities for hunters. Indeed. Well, a pleasure to meet you here. So, I suppose now's the time to get into the nitty-gritty and the details of what all's going on and what you suggest we might do about it.
Right. So here's the gist of it. We are our city is currently about to become ground zero in a war between vampires, and hunters. Which normally I wouldn't give a fuck.
Except that kind of war doesn't sound quiet.
It won't be quiet, and the hunters that are coming sound like they're worse than the vampires. And they certainly won't stop with the vampires. So the working plan as we have it right now is to help the less bad vampires kill off all the bad vampires as quickly as possible, thus making it no reason for the hunters to show up. And in the meantime, since we will probably need to buy some time, distracting the hunters with somewhere more important to go. 1-2 punch.
Redirect your enemy so that they can't cause mayhem while you solve the problem that the enemy would be drawn to in the first place.
Exactly.
Interesting approach. Possibly could be done well. I'm curious what you would be looking for our assistance on in that regard. Because, I mean, we could start throwing ideas out, but I don't know exactly what you're looking for.
It's a real good question, actually, now that I think about it. In fairness, I believe that plan was come up with after this meeting was arranged. So
Fair. I suppose at any rate, it's probably just a good idea to make sure the freehold's aware of the incoming threat.
absolutely. And if this fails and the hunters show up anyway, which some of them will probably show up regardless.
Yeah, I suspect, regardless of if you get the vast majority of these hunters moved out of the way, I suspect even a few will still show up. Which will still pose a danger.
Correct.
Well,
And if we can convince them to leave, great. If not, and they start just hunting willy-nilly,
Morrigan,
they're gonna have to go.
Morrigan, how's your putting people together going? And Morrigan just sort of tilts her head to the side. There's been progress made. The volunteers of those who've joined Summer, who wish to take up arms and act in defense of the freehold, have been responding well. Forming groups to defend has been effective, and I think we should be well organized for protecting anyone who comes to us for protection. I understand Winter has already been preparing safe houses. We can have summer guards positioned nearby for protection. And, of course, Spring can provide materials and required assistance, aid, succor, entertainment, keep everyone safe and happy while they hide if they choose to. And just keep everyone informed. And, says Billy, we at Autumn can do our best to deter those from looking too closely at our affairs and help provide misdirection should anyone come knocking at our doors. So overall, says Loquacious, I think if y'all want to focus on your resolution of the matters at hand, I think the Freehold should do relatively well at protecting its own for a time.
Wonderful.
Do we have enough safe houses for everyone?
We've secreted enough condemned and abandoned buildings under our care with the assistance of Autumn that there should be more than enough for the known population within the Freehold. It might get a little tight if everyone chooses to hide, but knowing the disposition of our compatriots in spring and summer, I doubt that will be the case.
I hate to impose, but I do believe that I will have the ability to help with that in a shorter amount of time than in a fairly short amount of time.
Oh?
My spouse and I just purchased a home.
And you would be willing to house changelings within?
Yes, but there's going to have to be stipulations.
Understandable. Most who own their own home and make it open to the freehold apply some rules.
But that is only if we get to that point.
And I don't know where Joe is in relation to Marlena, but she's gonna look over at Marlena and go, "What about the warehouse?"
Warehouse is absolutely a possibility.
More options is always beneficial and will help reduce any crowding that might be faced. It also helps make individual houses less obvious. The less crowded a safe house is, the less it draws attention.
Shit, that reminds me. I need to continue. I need to move the rest of my shit out of that house. Out of that.
We can arrange that. We got to get a bunch of our shit moved to from wherever it is. But that's neither here nor there. So if I'm understanding correctly, you're saying that the freehold is covered and you would like us to work on the vampire angle.
If there is assistance that we can provide, we may be able to consider it. But, as is always the case for those of us who represent the freehold itself must come before all other considerations.
No, absolutely understood. And if there's if it's taken care of, then that's leaves those of us who can take care of something else open to doing so.
And should any of you require a safe house to hide in, we can provide.
Joe is going to turn to James and go, do you think our house is safe enough for us?
I mean, there's only two of us anywhere we stay, if we decide to stay in our own house. The building itself is probably fine, as far as drawing attention goes, but two against however many is two against however many. I would say if we don't draw any attention to our house, it'll be fine.
Don't plan on it.
All right, so with the warning given and the freeholds moving to do as the freehold does, and the courts setting to do as the courts are meant, is there anything else that you require of us or wish to inform us of?
One thing that comes to my mind is the Winter Court's ability with information. We had mentioned the possibility of sending the hunters elsewhere. Or do you think any of the Winter Courtiers would be able to fabricate some hearsay that might be able to do that easily?
It is possible, though being unfamiliar with the communication channels of these hunters will put difficulty within that task. She sort of looks at Tyr. I might be able to help with that, yes.
Don't help, but don't get yourself in trouble.
No plans of it.
Nobody ever plan. No, that's a lie. I plan on getting in trouble a lot.
I was gonna say, don't you speak for me.
Look, the thing of it is, we're all going to have to take some level of risk, but it's a matter of playing those risks in our favor as opposed to just charging in head first. Even standing still, there'd be risk. We just got to try to make the odds work in our favor, and then we can say we've done the best we could. There's not going to be any plan that's foolproof.
No plan survives contact with the enemy.
I mean, you can make all the plans you want till the enemy's involved.
All right, well, that's been productive, I think, says Loquacious. Shall we get to work, then? We got people to warn, information to disseminate as panicless as possible, and safe houses to get up and running. And defended.
Not to add another level to this, but two of the hunter groups that have been assigned down here are
Awful.
particularly, yeah, just horrible human beings.
Good to
They eat supernaturals.
It's good to know that the hunters of the mundane world send their best. Which Loner just kind of shrugs. I'm like, I don't.
Is there anything we can do in regards to helping you with the safe houses? Because I know I've spoken before all this shit hit the fan, so to speak. I've been speaking to y'all about the the charity work to help transition and house
The
Changeling.
group of you are individually possessed of significant financial backing. Procurement
Mhm.
of supplies and resources to ensure safe houses are well stocked can reduce the need for trips outside that could pose danger of discovery or putting individuals at risk.
Well, I'm not going to give you a blank check, so to speak, but you have my number and you let me know what you need.
We'll be in communication.
I trust you not to send me to the poorhouse.
I run the bank of a freehold of largely paupers. I've gotten very good at arranging and working with as little as possible.
I trust you, Billy.
Very well. If all is in order. Briar nods. All right, well, I guess it's time to get down to business.
Yep.
I wish all of you good luck on your endeavors for solving this problem. We'll get to work on making sure there's still a freehold around when you do.
Delightful.
Keep in touch.
Always. And the web work of nets just ascends back up to the ceiling. And the noise of the freehold of the commons area as a whole begins to bleed back in.
And you see every Supreme Court here looking directly at us, wanting to be nosy, but knowing they shouldn't.
I mean, there's more than half of them, yes. The other half are being tactful and looking at whatever conversation they were having while trying to pretend they're not trying to listen.
Reading a book upside down.
All right. Well, we have another meeting to prepare for. Granted, we have a little while until then,
Right.
but still.
I think we can find a few things to fill the time till that happens.
That sounded weirdly innuendo-like.
It wasn't.
Good.
There are literally things we can prepare for the meeting to fill the time, not
Shall we
I'm
make
just
our
saying
way?
that is a quote. That typically is how pornos stop.
Shall we make our way back to the place so that we can get ready for the meeting That's happening
Yes.
later tonight, says James.
Yes, absolutely.
Let's go.
By the time you guys get back to the mansion, there are 4 large Amazon packages sitting on the front door.
Ah, wonderful.
On the way back to the mansion, Frisian's gonna ask, like, have we heard from the werewolves yet about the vampire problem?
Not today. I am not the point of contact.
Text and Lily.
What are you texting her?
I know last night was a little intense with all the information, but where are you and the other horrifically spelled attempt at Garu?
DHUROO.
Yeah. With everything going on with the vampires.
Ooh! Ask if she wants to. If they want to show up at a meeting with a bunch of walking corpses.
Oh,
Jackson would also like to know if you or any of your pack mates would like to show up at a meeting with a bunch of walking corpses. And then in a separate message, vampires.
It takes a minute before you hear back. It's still in talks, but us and the rest of the properly spelled Guru are currently making plans and preparing for the incoming threat. And
Right
you probably
click,
don't
add to
want to set that
autocorrect.
meeting if you want that meeting to actually be a meeting.
yes, we want that to actually be a me.
She will relay that.
Of course, if you'd rather it just be a bloodbath.
Fine, I didn't want you there anyway.
This is
It's text Malana sends her love.
yeah. Well, we at least thought we would invite you.
There you go.
I appreciate the offer, but Guru and leeches don't typically sit well in the same room together.
I can make them sit well in the same room together.
I hate to tell you this, Lilypad. But there may come to a point where that has to be set aside to get all of the fucking hunters out of our cities.
You don't understand the significance of it. It is kind of a spiritual thing. They are literally the spawn of our enemy.
Look, if I can sit in the same room with a Republican and have a conversation with them.
You killed the last one you had a conversation with.
That one don't count. It was me.
She will just text back, understood. To ask you that would be going way over my head and way over yours. I'm not going to do that to you or any of your kind. Though I will say, if that is the case, you and I need to go hunting some people tonight.
Okay, but could you imagine the absolute shit show if we brought the werewolves to meet the prince?
I mean, you probably wouldn't want to go anyway. It was something about a prince, and that just doesn't seem up your alley.
Are we out of the car at this point?
You probably got back at this point, yeah. And like I said, Marlena has noticed the several Amazon packages at the door.
Wonderful. Can somebody help me with these? I am not possessed of the strength please lift with your back, not your knees. Whichever way it is, might be the other way. I don't care.
Frisian lifts all the bikers up with his back because he sure as hell didn't learn better.
With your knees, not with your back. And they are heavy.
Malena,
Mm-hmm.
what have you?
I feel like, in honesty, I feel like Frisian is not picking them all up.
No, yeah, you pick up one, and you immediately hear bottles clinking on the inside.
Now I'm curious.
I'm gonna go. Fuck it. Yeah.
Then the question is, how many bottles and what size of bottles are they?
Oh, they're
I would assume big.
They're inside.
Big, probably glass bottles of the inside.
I just open up the garage and go in to get a hand cart that I assume is there.
Oh, there's definitely a hand cart in the garage.
Yep. Chunk.
Should
Carry
I?
them all in. Come, follow me. You will find out. This is what you've been waiting for.
Are you putting together goodie bags? What are you doing?
Walk in there, wheel it into the kitchen.
Party favors?
Set one of the, open up, and just start pulling out bottles of Everclear.
Oh. All right.
Water balloon fireballs?
Are you gonna get smashed?
No!
I mean, potentially.
I reach out. I grab the package of water balloons.
Yeah,
I point out. I hold this.
You throw a water balloon of flammable liquid on the vampire and light them.
Okay, you're making alcoholic water balloons to throw on vampires and set them on fire.
Yes, incendiary grenades.
Pretty cheap ones too, easy to make. Well, you'll need to follow up with a match. But
of course, but vampire. That's the point. The problem here is, as I understand it, when from your training session, is shooting them might be difficult because they're hard to hit. If there's a splash radius,
yeah, it works.
And then we can just light a match and throw it on the booze, the 190 proof booze-soaked ground. That's no longer the dodging is no longer a problem.
It's fair. Though then it becomes a don't get anywhere near the flaming, berserking, freaking out vampire.
That is a problem for later and not a problem for me. That is a problem for somebody else to solve when the flaming people are running around screaming. Because I don't think they're going to be attacking us at that point.
Probably want something a little bit bigger than a match. If it's going to go up quick.
Vampires have been dead for a long time. They actually take to fire surprisingly well.
No, I'm not talking about the vampires. I'm talking about the alcohol.
How about
this? Is almost pure grain alcohol.
I'm aware, but it's still
as for something better than a match, we have the dragon.
You're not wrong.
Definitely isn't wrong, says James.
Like I said, something better than a match.
I mean, this wasn't all the plan. I was going to go down to the corner store and get whatever Zippos they had there.
I mean, we could go to a Home Depot and get a tiger torch.
Also, this isn't all the alcohol either.
No, you got like a quarter of it. Let's
yes.
The rest is coming tomorrow.
Let's just say anyone wanting to go to a liquor store in the greater Knoxville area looking to get the really hard stuff is going to be shit out of luck.
Also, and for more things than just the dragon, incendiary rounds are a thing. Do they make them for a shotgun? I know they were made for rifles.
Yes, you can get dragon breath rounds.
If you don't like your shotgun, you can.
Yeah, it's a bad thing for your shotgun if you fire too many of them. It'll start
Yes.
ripping the barrel.
Yep. That's how you get your shotgun to explode in your face.
That said, you can use them.
You can. No, you absolutely can.
Fun fact: dragon breath rounds were primarily pioneered in the 70s and 80s.
Yep.
They
Yeah,
had
I
other
was-
types of incendiaries in World War II, though.
I was thinking of getting some Zippos,
Mhm.
some God damn it, what's the name of it? I should know this, and Jackson definitely does. Still, it's
What?
I was looking at dragon's breath ammunition. Legality. The sale of dragon's breath rounds is illegal in several states: Alaska, California, District of Columbia, Florida, Hawaii, Illinois, Iowa, Massachusetts, Maryland, and New York. There's a specific state that you're in that's not on that list.
correct.
I'm surprised. The fact that Florida is on that list surprises me.
It doesn't surprise me.
Florida's a swamp. They don't need
Florida's
dragon's
actually
breath rounds
fairly
setting the swamp on
restrictive.
fire.
Yeah, Florida's actually restrictive on a lot of that stuff.
You see, what the Florida man does is they don't buy the dragon's breath rounds; they just make them.
Yeah, they make them
Yeah.
homebrew.
Cassandra's gonna order some incendiary ammunition for multiple different weapons for the group.
Yep.
Tia, do you know how hard it is to get a hold of grenades?
Harder than to just make them.
All right. So I want you to show me that because I don't really particularly want how to build grenade in my search history.
I can show you that.
Like demolitions expert, right?
Yeah,
Oh,
We
shit, you're a
just-
demo expert.
I
Well,
could
there you
turn
go.
I could turn their entire building into a fireball if that's what's necessary, but that might draw a lot of attention.
I mean, we're gonna have
Magnesium pipe bombs, it is.
say. Okay, who is saying? I guess I can never tell.
That's tier.
Okay, all right, okay.
But honestly, we just need to go to the nearest outdoor store, pick up some fire starting materials, stormproof matches, and magnesium steel wool and shit like that.
That ain't gonna put us on some kind of list.
Surprisingly, you can buy a lot of things with cash these days. Nobody's gonna blink an eye.
Especially because it's all outdoor stuff.
It's all outdoor stuff. This is all totally normal. This is all totally normal stuff to buy.
In fact, here in the South, it's actually weird if you don't have some of that.
All right, so we will get together a small little arts and crafts building session in the next couple of days to build up a couple of those. I'm not saying we might have to level some buildings, but Frizzy and I will let you know if that is a thing that is necessary. Tia will let you know if that is a thing that is necessary. She'll just like make eye contact with Tia and shake her head.
Maybe some cordite. That might get us put on a watch list, though.
That depends on
No,
how much you buy.
You don't need cordite when you got magnesium.
No, but why would you not buy cordite if you have the opportunity to buy cordite?
To not get put on the list?
I mean,
Look, everybody's on a list. You're already on plenty of lists.
okay, so
Also,
We've
you
got-
can't can you really be put on a list if we technically don't exist to them?
I mean, I exist. I think you're the only one that doesn't exist at this point to them.
I don't know if I do or not, to be honest with you. In any official capacity.
Frisian doesn't exist. Frisian buys so much explosives.
Listen, I think, therefore I am. I exist. So we have, just so we're all here and clear on the same list, we have the makeshift alcohol bombs. We're planning on building up potential explosives. I just ordered a shit ton of incendiary rounds for different weapon types. Anything else?
Ooh, yes, I got an idea.
What's that?
What is the use them to spray poison on plants?
Oh, the
Pesticides?
the sprayer.
A pump spray.
Side,
Yeah.
but yeah, pump spray.
That's not
Another
bad.
way to disseminate some flammable material.
Would have to make sure that it stand up to it though.
Oh, a pump spray you just load with gasoline and just spray gasoline and then light it later.
Fair enough.
Yes, but if you get stopped with a car with some pump sprays full of gasoline, you get arrested. If you get stopped with a pump spray full of Everclear, they say have a nice party.
I mean, same difference, really.
Yeah, really, it kind of is.
It is about at this point as planning and gathering materials has been underway for a bit that the sun has set a little bit ago, and you get a text, Marlena, that just says, Civ has agreed to meet. You'll be meeting us at N-Trance, which is spelled N-Trance. Location gives an address.
Thumbs up emoji.
A nightclub?
Oh, wonderful. A nightclub.
This isn't where we break out our dresses from Cavaldi, is it?
How about you? I certainly am.
If you want to look good for this meeting and also be protected in case it goes south.
Speaking of Cavaldi, do you think the two of them could maybe manage to put together some disguised flamethrowers
Oh,
of some sort?
Can.
Fantastic. If we could get like a suit for everybody with one of them, that would be fantastic. I'm going to go get dressed. I will see all of you in a bit.
Marlena, I'm gonna ask you something and please refrain from making fun of me. I'm being honest. And
Fair
asking
enough. Absolutely.
I have the dress.
Mm-hmm.
I am hopeless with everything else that has to go with it. Hair, makeup.
Come with me.
I need your help, please.
Just come with me. We will get you what we'll get you set up.
Thank you. And thank you for saying so kindly.
Listen, there are a lot of things that I will talk shit. I will throw shade left and right. But there's one thing I'll always take seriously, and you just hit upon.
Looks.
Essentially.
Presentation.
Yep.
All right, everybody gets dressed and ready for their meeting. It is roughly at that point that Tyr sort of approaches Cassandra and says, "Do you want me to go with you to this meeting?"
I'm sorry, did you just ask me if I didn't want my hunter spouse to go with me to this?
I mean, I sort of throw a wrench in things if you're looking to be diplomatic. I represent the thing that's a threat that's incoming.
If I were a centuries old creature of the night who was used to being fucked over and fought with, I too would probably have a hard time seeing something that I see as an enemy constantly attempt to help. I very much would like you to go, but I very much think it would be better for you to stay here and or go. Quite frankly, we need to start getting out on every day we spend trying to play nice with everybody in town is a day that we are not killing Sabat. So while I'm trying to do my best, how about you go and do your best?
All right. It's time to get on the streets.
Please be safe.
I'll be bringing a crew.
She'll kiss him on the cheek.
Tyr will take off.
All right.
All right, so the rest of you make your way to
Yeah.
Entrance.
Yep.
Entrance is in like the northern end of Knoxville. It's a relatively large nightclub. It looks like it's got 3 floors to it, at least above ground. There might even be more above below ground. There is the massive like neon sign that denotes it out at night. It looks like there's even a bouncer at the door. Relatively pale looking dude, hair sort of long, black, swept back, 5 o'clock shadow constantly. Wears his sunglasses at night.
Sounds about right. Hello, we are here for a meeting.
Dude looks the group of you over. Sniffs. Yeah. Go on in. They'll be waiting for you on the 2nd floor.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
You step inside, and the atmosphere is weird. There was no line at the door. And when you step inside, you realize that you have entered a place that is currently occupied primarily by vampires. As you look around, you see that the bar has been replaced. The drinks that are on the back of the bar are mostly for show. And as you sort of walk by the bar, you see there is a crimson liquid being poured into anyone who steps up to the bar's glass. You see that there are dancers who look like they might be humans, but look like they're on something. Sort of moving about on the dance floor, and It is not. It is more than once that you watch someone sink teeth into one of the dancers' necks on the dance floor.
Joe is just going to keep her head held high and just keep facing forward and walking and just acting like the confident bitch that she is trying to be.
Yep.
And probably trying not to fall in heels, let's be honest.
Parisian's carrying himself very much like a service member at a high class event, and takes a look around. It's like, this is above my pay grade, and just continues on.
Legit. Yeah, no, I am walking just straight through.
Yeah, so you walk through. There are individuals standing at walkways that seem to be expecting you, that point you in directions of where you're supposed to be going. And you make your way up to the second floor. You're directed towards a large set of double doors.
Okay.
And you're about to enter, but one of the guards at the door sort of puts a hand out for a second, like, hold a moment. And
Right.
on the inside of the door, you hear some kind of muffled argument, and then the sound of flesh tearing. Waits for a second for it to quiet down. All right, go on in.
All right. Push the door open. Is it a single door or double door?
Double doors.
I do the full, like, guy walking it, push both doors open and stride through thing.
I follow, Joe follows right behind.
So, with their back to you,
Mm-hmm.
is a broad-shouldered but overall feminine cut figure. Studded leather shoulders, the like very tight pants, high-heeled boots laced up on the sides. The like a long flow of hair that drapes down on the right side is shaven close to the head on the left. The right arm that is currently hanging down at her side is drenched in blood.
Okay.
There also appears to be like a bracer that has like a spike blade on the back of it. And you realize that part of the reason that her right arm is painted in blood is because it looks like it's currently dissolving into ash right now, but it looks like two halves of an individual are currently spread across the back wall that she's looking at.
Cool. I'm invoking the royal court.
All right.
3 glamour, 1 willpower. No violence can be done in this meeting, as because I'm a Ferris, that includes social intimidations or threats. I just walk in and claim this bitch's place as my own, essentially.
So, because you're trying to do this to another supernatural, that will invoke a clash.
Okay.
1 second.
Wait, does it say that in here somewhere?
Most things like that will cause a clash.
Because the only thing it says in here about engaging in a clash of will is if someone's under a supernatural coercion.
Which contract is that?
This is Royal Court, page 131. No, it absolutely can. I absolutely get that. But this sort of It also doesn't say anything specific. I am totally good either way. I am just pointing out it specifically does mention a clash of wills, and it's only if in relation to someone is supernaturally coerced to do violence.
It does also say it does not stop violence if it's already started.
Correct. Oh, I don't care if I don't care what she does to this homie, but it sounds like that's finished.
The fun thing about social intimidation and violence, though, is that it often involves the setup.
Right.
We'll see how that functions as you invoke this.
Yep.
The consideration there is also Frisians are present.
Yeah, because it does mean no parties may engage in that.
Absolutely.
I particularly mean the social aspect because of Frisian's air of menace.
Yeah.
I mean, people can be threatening. You just cannot like people can be threatening because they exist threateningly. It doesn't make this. It doesn't make this bitch's arm not be bloody or have a spike on it.
Yeah. But yeah, as the two halves of this person that appears to have been splattered across the back wall turn to dust, she sort of turns to face the group of you, and you see this pale-skinned woman, glowing yellow eyes, black painted lips, although there is a smear of blood across the side of her face. As she like looks across the group of you, stomps on the ground for a second, and pops up. What you realize was laying on the ground was a Dane axe, just like a standing pole axe. Lays that down across the chair behind her, and then kicks up another thing that was on the ground, which was a break action double-barreled shotgun. Sets that on the chair behind her, as if dramatically disarming herself, essentially.
Fair enough.
And steps down in front of the group of you.
You be the prince, I assume.
That'd be correct. My name is Rekasiv Lokasena of Clan Bruja.
Wonderful. Pleasure to meet you. I'm Malena.
Joe Abba.
I am Frisian.
Sandra Scott.
We're here to talk to you about your Sabat problem, I understand it is, and how to help you solve that problem as quickly as possible.
So I understood from Amy's communication. I am very curious as to why a group of you are looking to get involved in matters of the Camarilla and the Sabat, but I've never been one to look a gift horse in the mouth, too thoroughly anyway.
I do like speaking plainly, and so I will hear. Honestly, and this is not, I do not have any animosity towards you or your people, but I don't care about conflict between you. If it was just you two fighting back and forth in the shadows or however you do it, that wouldn't be concern to me. There are two things I do care about, though. One, if this threatens to spill out to the normal people. And two, it is, to be clear, it's not that it may bring, it's that it is bringing a whole mess of hunters down on all of our heads. And they ain't gonna stop with you and yours.
Self-interest, then.
Mostly, yes. The quicker we pound your enemies into the not so proverbial pavement, the quicker you can go on doing your thing, we can go on doing our thing, and the hunters can go I don't know,
Back to where they came from.
kill monsters in Charleston or wherever the hell they go next. Also, I'll be honest. Now's a good opportunity. We might as well get to know each other a little bit. We all live in the same city. I'm sure some of yours and some of ours can counter each other from time to time.
Not a bad layout. And I appreciate the honesty. It's much more than some people, she says, looking at the decomposing pile of ash, can provide.
So my question to you is, I mean, the easiest way to put it, how can we help? We would be happy to go destroy some vampires.
If you want to go out on the streets and start murdering Sabat, it'll make my life that much easier. It's lives I don't have to risk.
I mean, I would prefer that we were helping, not doing the work for you.
As I suspected.
And also, not that I do not trust you, but I do not trust you because I don't know you.
Fair.
I would not be at all shocked if some person that I never met, who is clearly very impressive, very tactically minded, and in charge of a group of significant people, were not tempted to use such a situation of outsiders killing vampires they are opposed to deal with potential other threats. And that is not what we have signed up for. We want to get the problems that are bringing the hunters here out of the way, and that's it.
I like your style and your gumption. You're straightforward and honest. It's a refreshing change.
Thank you.
There's more of that came from if it's just between us.
This is our home, and we are going to do everything we can to keep it safe.
Absolutely. And I do not like the notion of hiding in my house until these hunters, who seem to be a bigger concern than your Sabat.
They might seem like that on the surface. Until the Sabat get here in numbers.
At the very least, they're not. The current situation with your evil vampires doesn't seem to be isn't quite as concerning to me as the cannibal hunters and such.
You think the Sabat don't eat people? They literally.
I think the Sabat are going to be less concerned about eating me than eating you. The hunters ain't going to give a shit either way.
Truth be told, changeling blood has been said to be quite valuable. I don't care for it. I would rather fight uninhibited, but...
Well, that's horrifying and good to know. So,
might as well have all the facts.
Yeah, the point being, I do not like the notion of hiding in my house until the hunters decide they're done killing what they're going to kill, or these Sabat decide they're done killing what they're going to, regardless.
But just let me lay down for you so you understand my position and why your statement of the hunters potentially being the greater threat is amusing to me. hunters are looking to kill monsters and presumably keep the order that they think they have in the light of day under their control, maintain society as they know it. The Sabbat want the end of the world.
I'm sorry. Could you elaborate, please?
Gehenna, the end of days. That's what the Sabbat strive for.
Does any of that make sense?
Their words. I mean, end of days means ends of days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ragnarok. Any word you have for the apocalypse. The Sabbat and their Book of Nod, their sacred religious text, drives them to pursue the end of all things. They seek to awaken ancient monstrosities that the Camarilla would rather leave buried because they believe it will give them power in the end of days.
Do you think they're here to find any one of those ancient relics to resurrect or whatever they is they do?
I don't know. But they usually come somewhere for a reason, and this is way out of the way of their normal stomping grounds and areas of incursion and fighting with the Camarilla. Which tells me that, yes, there's something important they're looking for here, and I am terrified that, yes, it is one of the ancient ones.
I'm sorry. Nope, never mind. I heard you. I don't need to say it again.
Let's just say that vampires have existed for a very long time. And the older a vampire is, the more dangerous they are.
Tracks.
So you're saying, of all the places in all the world, the place they decided to put an ancient blood-sucking monster, no offense,
Is Tennessee.
is fucking Knoxville, Tennessee. That tracks.
Well, who's going to look in Tennessee versus, I don't know, like Transylvania or Rome or...
See, the thing is, if something that ancient was buried here, it would have been buried here ancient times ago when this was at the most Native American land. And potentially not even that, depending on time.
Sandra's going to pull out her phone real quick. And she's going to start looking for the oldest spots in Tennessee that we know of. Like ancient historical landmarks belonging to the natives.
There are the glass mounds in Franklin. There's there's a number of different historical spots that have native significance in Tennessee. Although what this individual is implying is that it might not be a native cultural thing, but that it happened when this was only native land, and thus not a lot happening that would disturb that until people came and built a city.
I'm perfectly happy for your very, very old vampire to continue its nap.
As am I. But the Sabbat would rather wake it up. And
We just have to convince them that is more trouble than it's worth, and there are ancient vampires in other parts of the world that are much more appealing.
What I'm hearing, and correct me if I'm wrong, is that the Sabbat sound more on the side of illogical monsters and those who would actually listen to logic.
I mean, there's a certain twisted logic to the Sabbat. They rule by strength and force of will and the rule of the strongest
So
kind
you
of thing. They don't run a society that like the Camarilla do. They run a
so basically you'd have to beat one of them in arm wrestling or something like that.
not in so simple terms, but something.
I'm
like
trying to I'm trying to comprehend here.
The Sabbat is a cratocracy. Rule of strength, rule of might. If you can command those beneath you, you have power, and so on.
Mixed with a doomsday cult, essentially, is what I'm hearing.
Something like that.
Is there any way to
That's
find,
Dumb and Dumber, all in one.
is there any way to find out what it is they're looking for?
That's what I'm trying to find out. And I think, all things considered, you folk might be the key to finding it out.
Oh, fuck.
Wait a
And
second.
that-
Wait.
That's where we're going to end for the week.
Yep.
Say goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.